My friends, I hope you are ready because in 2026, we are about to experience one of the greatest years in Nintendo history with their launch lineup, and I cannot wait. That is today's topic. And of course, before that, we go over rapid fire slash speedrun news. Let me know what title you like best for that segment, where we go over what's happening inside the world of Nintendo very quickly so you are up to date with what's happening out there, right? Before we get into this, I just want to thank you so much for the response over the last video. You guys have brought me within this much of 55,000 subscribers, and I want to dub this video the 55K milestone video because I just have faith that you guys are going to come through once again. If you are new here, welcome. Thank you so much, and consider subscribing. Getting us over. You might be the subscriber that see that number change to 55,000, and I cannot be more grateful to you. Thank you. Let's get into the video. First up, for all Zelda fans out there, we have Nintendo just announced a Breath of the Wild vinyl release, which you can see here on the image. And it says here, Nintendo has partnered with Lace Records to bring the sweeping music of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild to fans with a collectible vinyl collaboration arriving June 19, 2026. Now, I believe this is more in line with the 40th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda, and I'm sure that we will hear more from this in February. I think it's a little early. I think they should have waited for February to announce this if it's coming out in June, right? Next year. Next up, we have some news inside the world of Pokemon. Not the greatest, but still, it's news, so let's talk about it. We are talking about a playable prototype of Pokemon Pokopia. Let's see here. Let's read from Central Leaks over on Twitter. This is via mynintendonews.com. Terra Leak, a complete unreleased prototype of Pokopia has been found, and we have the full Unity source code. So you actually need like that Unity platform in order to even play this. I believe this is just, it's not really worth looking at because we already know what the game looks like now and how fantastic it is. And I cannot wait for this game to come out next year. So there you have it. The game apparently leaked, but it's not the actual game. It's more like a prototype. All right, so we have some news for Metroid Prime fans. Metroid Prime 4, Beth Bath & Beyond fans. The demo was rated, but I need to clarify. This is making the round now, right? It says Metroid Prime 4 Bad Bath & Beyond, which is what I call it. Demo was rated, right? And so I think my Nintendo News actually pointed out too that this was rated back in March of this year. This was before the Nintendo Switch 2 experience, which yours truly happened to attend and play the demo for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. And so, well, right now it looks like there could be a demo that launches before the game launches, which is, I believe, is a great move since Nintendo's promotional on this game is not that great. So I believe that if they were to release a demo of the game before the game comes out, I think it'll just do a service to the game, right? And it's a great thing that hopefully this demo that they're talking about here makes it onto our system. In the same round of Metroid, we have Metroid Prime series producer wants fans to experience Metroid Prime 2 multiplayer. This is a big thing. Metroid Prime Echoes, right? And so I wonder why they are coming out and saying, hey, we want you to play Metroid Prime the multiplayer. And the article continues to say that the developer team, they really went all out with that multiplayer. It's not something they did last minute. It was something they planned from the very beginning for Metroid Prime 4, Metroid Prime 2. And so this begs the question, why do they want us to enjoy that Metroid Prime 2 multiplayer if it were not this game coming to maybe NSO or Metroid Prime 4 having a similar multiplayer mode that has not yet been announced? So there's two things that could be happening with Metroid Prime 4 or maybe Metroid Prime 2 coming to NSO very, very soon to the GameCube area on NSO. So you guys let me know what you guys think down below. Would you like to see Metroid Prime 2 come to GameCube online, or would you love to see a Metroid Prime 4 multiplayer little area added too? If you have a Nintendo Switch 2 and you watch YouTube and you know that YouTube is not available on Switch 2, well, YouTube just said, hey, don't worry, we're working on an app. It's coming soon. Nintendo Switch 2 will receive the YouTube app very soon. And I think that's basically the news for that. Let's go ahead and move on to the next piece of news really quickly. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment is only about a week away from launch. And just so you get ready, It is 44 gigabytes big. So just make sure you have that space there. I'm already pre-ordered mine and I have mine separate. So 44 gigabytes big. If you need to add more storage, go ahead and add it now. If you need to delete stuff, delete it now, because Age of Imprisonment, and it's on its way, and it's coming out next week. 44 gigabytes. All right, moving on to the next and last story before we go into our main topic of the day. Wild Brain Studios apparently working on a Crash Bandicoot animation for Netflix. So Crash Bandicoot might get an animated series on Netflix, which I think it's about time. I wonder who will be the voice actor, what kind of personality would Crash have, because he's kind of crazy, he's kind of nuts, right? And of course, I Crash Bandicoot, I love the character, but I also love the world, and I love all the other characters around Crash, which is just great. So I cannot wait to see what Netflix does with Crash Bandicoot, or not Netflix, but more like the Wild Brain Studios, who is actually the animation team working behind the Crash Bandicoot series. Now with Sonic and Mario out in the field, man, we just need all of our favorite mascots out there to, collaborating and stuff. 2026 is around the corner, and I cannot wait for that year to come here, because I believe it's going to be one of the best years for us Nintendo fans when it comes to video game releases. We are at the beginning, or at the precipice of greatness. This is a brand new system, right? How many of us have been here, right? And like had that anticipation of what's coming next. We know that the next Animal Crossing, next Mario, next Splatoon, your next favorite game, unless it's Donkey Kong, unless it's Mario Kart, which is already out, but your next big title is on its way, and 2026 is filled with so much promise. So let's go ahead and go over what is already promised to be out, and based on that, we can kind of pinpoint what's missing, right? Let's go ahead and get into that right here. I am right now at the Nintendo Press website, and as you can see here, we already have a couple of titles that are slated for 2026, starting with Mario Tennis Fever coming out in February 12th, right? And then we have Yoshi and the Mysterious Book in the spring. We have Fire Emblem Fortune Weave at 2026. Pokemon Pokobia, we just spoke about that today, 2026. And Splatoon Raiders also, of course, 2026 TBA, but 2026 as well. Not only that, but on the Nintendo Switch side, we also have a couple of games that are coming out in 2026. And let me see here, this is coming here. And this is Splatoon Raiders. Rhythm Haven Groove, okay, is one of the games that are coming out in 2026. And Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream. These are games that are coming out for Nintendo Switch. Of course, also Nintendo Switch 2, but these games are specifically for the Nintendo Switch. So Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream, and Rhythm Haven. So in total, if we count all of the titles that are already promised for 2026, we have 7 titles, 7 games already promised for 2026. Now, the main thing I want you guys to look at is which of these games would you consider a major title, okay? Now, there are major titles, and there are spin-off titles, there are sports titles, and all that stuff, right? So if you look at all these games here, the only major game we have here is Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. This is the only major title that has been announced for 2026. The rest are more like spin-offs. Now that we've determined these games here, with the exception of Fire Emblem, they all look like kind of like fillers, right? They look like those side or sidekick or spin-off games. I believe that Nintendo has 3 major titles for 2026 that will make the year the best ever, okay? The first I want to talk about has to do with an upcoming anniversary, and I'm talking about The Legend of Zelda 40th anniversary, which is on February 21st. And yes, you guessed right, there is always a Nintendo Direct happening in February. Now, if we look at February, we see Mario Tennis Fever is happening on the 12th. And of course, having this game coming out on February 12th kind of lets us know that the Nintendo Direct is happening after the launch of Mario Tennis Fever, okay? Now, The Legend of Zelda 4th anniversary falls on a Saturday, the 21st. Same as the Mario 40th anniversary fell on the Saturday. Nintendo did the direct on that Friday, so we could see something similar to what Nintendo did with Mario, giving us that direct on a Friday, and then the next day is the anniversary. So you can put on your calendar right now, just February 20th for that Nintendo Direct, right? And so in that Direct, we might see the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake. We know that this is just more than a rumor now, since we've covered patents, trademarks, and a whole bunch of legal Nintendo information that points to a Ocarina of Time remake, like tangible remake, right? Other than the rumors out there, right? And so that's a highly anticipated game. I believe will be the first big title of 2026. Now, the next big title is also related to an anniversary. Of course, in April, we're getting the Mario movie, and we are still celebrating the 4th anniversary of Mario. The next big Mario game. The next big Mario game, I also believe, will be announced in 2026, and hopefully in this upcoming Direct in February. All right. And so Mario and Zelda will make a big splash in 2026. Now, the last major title that I personally believe this, I didn't hear anything from anybody, I just believe that this will be a great season for it, is Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is a huge title, the #2 selling on Nintendo Switch, overall, and I believe it's a system seller. A lot of you out there are waiting specifically for this game to launch on Switch 2 in order to buy a Switch 2, and I believe this could also be accompanied by a Nintendo Switch 2 Lite later in the year, maybe for a holiday lineup, right? You get a little bundle with Animal Crossing and a Nintendo Switch 2 Lite for the holiday season of 2026. That would be just great, right? And we do need a Nintendo Switch 2 Lite to kind of bring more people over to the system. I know my daughters, they can care less about the big system. They're waiting for the Lite. And when that Lite comes out, man, it's going to sell like hotcakes, right? So Zelda, Mario, and Animal Crossing, I believe, are the big titles for 2026. Alongside, we got Mario Tennis Fever, Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, Pokemon, Pokopia, and Rhythm Haven Groove. There's just so many titles, right? And so we've seen Nintendo kind of give us 2 titles in 1 month. Like, for example, right now, we had, in November, we have Hyrule Warriors, and we have Kirby Air Riders, right? In October, we have Super Mario Galaxy 1+2, and then we have Pokemon Legends ZA in October. So double feature in October and a double feature in November, right? So who knows what double features we'll get also in 2026. All I know, guys, is that 2026 is already off to a fantastic start. There is no drought in gaming for Nintendo when it comes to video games, especially first party, right? We're not even counting the third party titles that are on the way onto Nintendo Switch and will be landing in 2026. Any game that Microsoft wants to bring, Ubisoft, and so on, right? There's just so many games to look forward to, and 2026 is going to be a fantastic year for Nintendo and Nintendo Switch 2. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. All right, so this part of the video is optional, so if you want to stop it here, you can go on with your day, and I thank you for being here, or you can stick around for today's life power-up. Today's life power-up I'm entitling Small Steps with Big Faith Still Moves Mountains. So in life, we sometimes wait for the perfect moment to start. Either perfect finances, perfect timing, or perfect plans, right? But God doesn't move through perfection. He moves through obedience and faith. Think about the Legend of Zelda. Link never starts out with a master sword. He starts out with a wooden shield and 3 hearts. But as he moves forward, he then receives more. In the same way, God doesn't ask of us to have everything figured out. He just asks for you to trust him enough to start. Today's power-up is found in Proverbs 16:3, and it says, "Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. So don't wait until everything looks perfect. Start with what you have and where you are, and let God handle the increases. Your journey doesn't require perfection, just a little faith. Never give up and journey on. Peace.